So I'm basically a theatre practitioner based in Bangladesh and teaching at the University of Dhaka in theatre. Recently I started my PhD at Goldsmiths University of London. My topic is Performing the Nation, Identity Violence and the Quest for Plurality in Bangladesh. In Bangladesh is Performing the Nation, বাংলাদেশের পরিচয়, সহিংসতা এবং বহুত্ববোধক সমাজ অন্বেষণ. Yes, my PhD is Practice as Research, doctoral project at Goldsmiths. Being a young, active, sometimes paid and sometimes volunteer theatre maker in a non-profit theatre circuit in Bangladesh, I have been involved with academic, amateur and professional alike theatre practices with around 100 organizations in home and abroad, with directorial dramaturg credits of around 40 plays in Dhaka, Kolkata, London, Glasgow, Birmingham and Washington since 1995. And aim to examine in this research project is to the socio-political context that generated the contest of national identity since early 19th century, 20th century in the landmass currently known as Bangladesh. Student by means of secondary research delves into the politics of identity that the citizens of Bangladesh as well as the Bangladeshi diaspora in Britain engage in daily life and artistic performance by means of performance research, and proposes how practice as research theatrical performance can provide a space for the acceptance of fluid and heterogeneous cultural identities in Bangladesh. If the nation is, as Ernest Renan argues, the possession in common of a rich legacy of memories as ongoing present-day contest and a desire to live together, then the socio-political context of this study explores how religious, cultural and ethnic markers of national identity has been imagined, contested and performed among and by various ethnic, religious and cultural communities of Bengal, East Bengal / Pakistan and Bangladesh during key historical events such as the partition of Bengal in 1905, partition of India in 1947, the War of Independence of Bangladesh in 1971, the political killings of 1975 and 1981, as well as the violence since 1990s. The research is underpinned by identity as a notion that is unfixed, that is in constant flux, and is informed by various and sometimes contradictory social practices. It goes on to explore how national identity of Bangladesh is anything but monolithic, and indeed is fluid, unfixed, always already in flux, and is sometimes even contradicted. This is a very interesting image from the Shahbag protest that happened in 2013, led by the young people with demand for the capital punishment of the war criminals of 1971 in Bangladesh. And the second one is immediate after this previous protest, Hafazat-e-Islam procession in 2013, led by a large portion of Islamic religious leaders and religious school students from all over the country, Bangladesh. The ongoing contest of national identity and the struggle over it, in other words, the politics of identity, will be examined by explicating daily life as well as artistic performances sampled from Bangladesh today. It seeks to get to the core of the politics of presenting the views of multiple contestants. That's been the religious, the cultural and the ethnic nationalists. The study shifts the focus of the research to Britain by taking up the complex issues of politics of identity that enmeshes the Bangladeshi diaspora, living and working in a democratic and liberal social order that Britain offers. The Bangladesh diaspora is not hemmed in by the undemocratic and violent means of repression that the politics of identity sometimes bears in Bangladesh today. This image is taken from the recent militant attack at Cafe Holy Artisan in Dhaka in 2016. Given such a social context, how the religious, cultural and or ethnic ideological inclinations prevalent in Bangladesh impinge upon the national identity of the Bangladeshi diaspora in Britain will offer new clues to the question of politics of national identity. The study will also seek to go the core of the debate over the question of national identity by examining by 3 ideological strands mentioned above, as the religious nationalists, the ethnic nationalists, and cultural nationalists. Also by explicating daily life as well as artistic performances sampled from Britain today. Data collected from examinations in chapters 2 and 3, is chapters 2 and 3 in my dissertation, have been employed in devising a performance that poses the question of national identity as imagined by all the 3 ideologies, 3 nationalists, 3 communities, such that contradictions and predicaments in each strand is presented. The performance examines the possibility of multiple identities in daily life by providing a space to bring potentially conflicting identities into confrontation and letting this play out to challenge one another in order to demonstrate that people may have differences but can respect each other but can live in harmony. So this one image taken from the historical speech of 7th March 1971 by Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, known as the architect of the independence of Bangladesh. Okay, this one, I'm sorry, I messed up. And these ideas are presented in a devised theatrical form that follows the practice approach of interactive cyclic wave. I took this from Smith and Dean model of practice research to create a reciprocal relationship between research and creative practice and culminating in the publication of a monograph. End of my research. So this is National Martyrs Memorial. I will show you some pictures. The memory of the valor and the sacrifice of all those who gave their lives in the liberation war of Bangladesh in 1971. And Pohela Boishakh is nowadays very contested in Bangladesh in terms of celebration of this Pohela Boishakh. It's Mongol Shubhajatra, colorful procession in the capital city on the first day of the Bengali calendar, followed by the traditional Bangla. And as I said, it is contested nowadays. Eid celebration related to the Muslim community's annual celebration. Durga Puja related to the Hindu community celebration. Christmas related to the Christian community's annual celebration. Ravarona Purnima related to the Buddhist community's annual celebration. So, in response to my research, I have done some focus group discussion, workshop, and in-depth interviews with the social actors from 3 different communities in Bangladesh. So some of the pictures I have taken from, this is a focus group discussion I have arranged with young theater activists, with social activists, political activists, student political activists, and cultural activists in Dhaka University. And this is workshop with the student from theater department, the pass out student and the running student. I have done this workshop in Dhaka University based on this identity and balance and the quest for plurality. And this is with the Friday Theatre. And this is with theatre makers in the port city Chittagong in Bangladesh. And this is with the Hill Ribbing Theatre. It's very recently they formed this theatre in the Rangamati Hill Tracts, which is again a very contested and conflicted area in Bangladesh. Workshop with diaspora Bangladeshi community in Tao Hamlets. Diverse age range, diverse people, diverse community background people came to this workshop. And this is one place, Brick Lane 78. Brick Lane 78, I will show some of my work's picture. This Brick Lane 78 I've done with this picture, this play with the diaspora communities, Asian diaspora communities theatre organizations named Purbanat. They lived in Birmingham. So I've been working with them since 2014. I've done this production last year. Do you know about the Brick Lane 78? Brick Lane, there was an incident happened in 1978, a racist attack, and one of Bangladeshi garment worker was killed in this time, 1978, 4th of May or 5th of May. Was killed, a young guy, killed by some of the racist National Front activists during this time, and this play is based on this issue. At the end of the play, the basic notion of the play was plurality, and to coexist in this country or wherever we are going, wherever human beings are living. So we need to live together, we need to live with harmony. So how we can live, so how theatre can embed in this conflicting societies. So this was the basic idea of the play. And this is another play, is Gahon Jatra. It's based on extremism, and in response to the extremism, how peace can be prevalent on earth. Maybe there was no solution, but there are some questions raised through one woman show. And this one is Mahajaner Naam. This is based on Sufism, which is basically how Islam elaborated, Islam exposed, and Islam was exposed. Islam was exposed in Bangladesh. How Islam came and get into life in Bangladesh. Chaka is about the voice of against the atrocities and autocratic government during 1990s, the military government. This is another Jyoti Sanghita. It's about the Liberation War and its aftermath. And this is about Payar Awaj Pawa Jai. It's about in English. This name is we can hear the footsteps. So this is about Liberation War and how women were sacrificed and gave their life for the Liberation War, and how they raped and how they victimized in the Liberation War during the Independence War by Pakistani Janta. Lal Jamin is about the struggle of a woman during the Liberation War and its aftermath. It's one woman show. Macbeth, it's, you can say, it's a representation of the post-liberation war Bangladesh, the time of the political killings in 1975 and 1981. And Dokkhina Sundari, it means the Southern Beauty. This play was written by Shahman Moshan, and it was showcased during the 20th Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. It's about the Sundarbans, the most endangered forest nowadays. Fauna, it's basically based on the you can say this is military governments, atrocities and their violence, but the quest for peace. The play was followed by the Black Watch by National Theatre of Scotland. And this was also written by Shahman Moshan. He's doing PhD in Birmingham University. Yes, that's my presentation. Yes.